everybody. So, I don't love having my camera this way, but oh well, it's what's happening. Kind of the new theme, or the theme of the new moon here. I'm just gonna go with what's happening. There is an audacity to this energy. It is really something. The level of joyfulness, hopefulness, the living into a new hopeful futureness. Hey, Joelle. Uh, there's a lot to say about this new moon, and not a lot of it is depressing. Well, we love Sagittarius, right? Of course we do. Helen! We love Sagittarius because it's about hopefulness, happiness, um, getting out of our comfort zone and doing something that spirits us away. What gets us out of bed in the morning? Yeah, we all need a little bit of that, right? After we come out of the previous sign and experience in the eighth house and the Scorpio, we need a little injection of hope. We get a lot of injection of hope and of being happy because there's a perspective that has us living into a better, brighter, more hopeful future. Ooh, Helen, this new moon is exactly conjunct your moon Venus natal conjunction. Well, Sun is there too, and Venus is just super close by. You're having a pile up of good stuff there. That's excellent. You have a lot of good cycles that are beginning. So, the wildness of this new moon, it can pay off for us if we're willing to take some risks and follow some of our inspirations. There is an unleashing that is going to occur. An unleashing over the course of the next couple of weeks because we also have an in conjunction from Sun and Moon to Uranus. There are many of us that are going to have breakthroughs in belief, ideology, what we find worth hoping for, or the shared cultural stories that we have. The in conjunction from Sun and Moon to Uranus is about sudden insights, sudden information, sudden connections, suddenly tuning into a different source of information or finding a different book or somebody of a different perspective of belief, um, sparking up a conversation with us. It comes out of nowhere, these changes in trajectory, these changes in perspective, ideology, belief, and it does signal that on a large scale, on a very large scale, there is a sudden trend towards more rapidly shifting social affiliations, people changing teams and ideologies at large. So, personally, we feel like maybe that thing that used to feel, stupid about inventing, maybe that business we once thought of, but we never really gave it the time or attention that we deserve because we didn't really believe it could be. Maybe that half finished degree that's sitting around. And, once upon a time it made sense, but then we kind of, lost our vigor. But now we see that maybe that could lead to something. It's these sudden awarenesses about how we could, in an audacious way, expand or grow or add something to our life, enrich ourselves. Now, Alice, this is a good point. I know you're being a little facetious. She says maybe going to church or hitting the casino. Well, somebody knows a little bit about Jupiter around here. Not with an in conjunction to Uranus. No. If you do go to church, you're likely to hear some weird shit. If you go to a casino, you might win big, but chances are you're not going to strike it that way. It's one or the other. And even if we lose with that one, we're having such a good time, we might be okay to let it go and spend a little bit more. Um, so be careful about speculation, because with Uranus again, it's such a unpredictable addition to things, that the only thing that can be said is that it will by nature be unpredictable. So we don't know what we're going to hear. We don't know what is going to come into our life. It will be enriching, ultimately. We don't know what we're going to hear, what we're going to see, what little piece we're going to come across. Maybe it'll be a news bit. Maybe it will be a new book. Maybe it could be a shift in a friend's opinion. But there's something that is a coming that uh, it tears through, and I say tears through because it is going to be an uncomfortable tear, because it is a Uranus in conjunction, happens suddenly without warning. Uh, it tears through our previous beliefs, moralities, moral ideas, uh, orienting ideas about the world. A download of belief, Alice. Yes. And it could also be a period of time where there is some measure of disclosure regarding what has been in the background or kept suppressed or hidden, so that certain types of, see, Sagittarius, belief system, ideology, collective beliefs could persist. Hey, Molly. Hey, Karen. Just taking a look at comments for a second. So, anyway, think about what it is that you want to know more about. Because we plant the seeds of radical expansion when it comes to knowledge at this particular time. And again, what we hear uh, is likely to disrupt, the current ideas that we have. But if we already, not all of us are like this, but if we already are looking to disprove what we already know, so that we can know more. If we are a critical or kind of scientific thinker, where we're continually asking questions so we can test the current model, we're not going to have any problem with this kind of energy. But yeah, if we have a certain amount of life and status built around knowing things, that's where we can be a little perturbed about the things that come out of left field and inform us in a way where we're gonna have to like find a way to what is it incorporate that somehow with what we believe. And for some of us, it's going to be harder for others, depending on how this aspects your own chart. For some of us, it'll be an oppositional or in conjunctional type of business where it is going to ask us to confront or remove a lot of different structures or cornerstones of our life, and we could have a crisis of faith. And for others of us, it, uh, it, it won't be as meaningful. It could even be a show being affected more by the social state of really the rapidity of the exchange of information and how that can degrade the say the truth of things or the entirety of things when it moves so fast and we don't yet have time to get the entire story before we do start passing information. Probably see some consequences of that. So these lunation cycles, they can figure in more or less into your own natal chart depending on if it has something to do with your own planets, if it's aspecting your own natal planets. Anyway, that's what I got to say about it. So yeah, I think the most interesting thing will be to look for disclosure when it comes to what has been hidden or suppressed or kept from the public at large. So the certain ideological systems or systems of government or types of law and order can continue to exist or proliferate. Between now and 2032, and certainly by 2067, 2068, uh, it's going to be a wild ride in terms of our ideas about the natural world and uh, systems and structures of power, how that all actually operates and what is all to that. All right, well guys, that's what I got. Standing Sun 44. I'm curious about what are your thoughts and analysis of it being conjunct the galactic center. I don't know. Actually, I really don't know. That is something that I would have to contemplate. It does hold some extra gravity in terms of the uh, center rotational point of orientation. And Sagittarius has that meaning in general. It's that, yes, Alice, it's that dot on the map, Sagittarius, Jupiter, that when you're in a mall or when you're in a big complex, it says you are here. And so it's that central reference point. So, yeah, not only does it have a weight and a meaning, when it comes to our local experience, it's likely talking about more of a shift or a radical insider information because it's set in conjunction to Uranus about what is actually outside of our solar system or the immediacy of our planetary neighborhood. It's very interesting that Three Eye Atlas is also um, exhibiting more anomalies right around this particular time as well. So, we are going to be finding out a lot more about the nature of the structure of uh, the um, the workings of the universe and having many, many, many paradigm shifts. Because as we seek to know more, this is the Uranian 11th house Aquarian thing. As we seek to know more and have more of a scientific, progressive approach, we are going to question our way out of, um, invent our way out of, think our way out of current paradigms and understandings about how things work and what are the origins of things. And we come into these times in history where we have such big discoveries and new ways of seeing things, sometimes new tools. And then we have to adapt what it is that we thought was true. And that can be a very weird and somewhat painful process because it really calls into question many of the things that we thought were true. It may not just be that one thing that we're dealing with that could be tied to many other things. And so, as we find out more about the universe itself, and that's going to happen, that is going to happen a lot here over the course of the next years. Seeing things differently, seeing farther, having different incoming information from different parts of the universe. We're gonna have to grapple with that because that's going to call into question a lot of what we think about. Our religious paradigms, our beliefs about the natural world, right here, what everything is made up of, what are we as a human being, our own destiny. There's a lot of implications. So I'm thinking it has a lot to do with that, my curious friend, standing sun. 28 Sagittarius. Thank you. Uh, ha, 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 ha. Joel, this new moon is square Sinistry Sun Moon conjunction with my karmic. I told him it's all or nothing at this point. We'll see what he says. Well, we do plant some radical new ways at this stage. So it'll be interesting to see if it begins a new cycle or if it is something that sets you free. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap up there for now and go straight over to my subscriber group here on YouTube and meet with the inner circle. If you guys are interested in joining me over there, grab a YouTube membership, and I will see you in just a minute or two.